Okay. I think we're ready here. Hello, 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 and welcome back. Hello, I'm Vanessa Parrack, and welcome to my channel, From Hell to Higher Ground. I welcome you back from last week, those of you who subscribed that are here right now. Please follow me on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and LinkedIn. Please subscribe, always share, and always hit likes. I've had to update my topic. This is episode 1. What's more dangerous, a high heel shoe or an assault rifle? Now we all know that objective, honey, honestly. But, and that's a big but that is, journalist Tucker Carlson, who decided that trans terrorists are a major public safety threat. Now, I'm going to say that again. Tucker Carlson, who said this to millions of people on a major network that he was just fired, by the way, that trans terrorists are a major public safety threat. I mean, what the hell? And I'm still trying to wrap my head around what a trans terrorist is. I mean, is this some deranged queen running around loose, in spiked heels, upsetting the community? I mean, has he bumped his head? It seems like he'll have a lot more time to think about that, though. But let's be clear. It's easier, and it's a lot more easier to quantify the threat posed by an assault weapon. I've got some research here. In 2020, Forbes magazine reported there are 20 million guns out there, plus 2 million more last year. Now, I'm going to repeat that. Forbes magazine reported there are 20 million guns out there, plus at least 2 million more last year. I mean, my goodness, there seems to be a daily example of how these weapons of war and irresponsible gun owners end innocent lives, honey. I mean, we're living in a time and a place right now where an unhinged individual can go out, buy a few hundred rounds of ammunition, and by rare chance, this person wants to survive their massacre, so they go out and buy military grade armor, then go out and slay and murder their coworkers or school children. This has been a daily occurrence. I mean, I don't understand. Where you stand on gun control is your business. Same thing with where you stand on what your child read is your business. Same thing where you live your life is your business. Same thing who you love is your business, because the Constitution guarantees all of us the right to life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. My journey to become the woman that I was meant to be was to run towards my dreams, not away from my fears. This road, I'll say this trip has not been easy, nor is it difficult to do. You have to have faith, believe in yourself and believe that we will live to see a brighter day. We have to support each other. We have to go out and vote the right people in the office, that's going to look out for the community. And then I'll say my number one question is, If we don't support each other, how are we all going to survive to see a brighter day? So, this is the question that I'm going to ask you. What does your happiness look like? How do you plan to get there? This is your journey, your goal, your life. Hopefully, I can help gear you up for that journey. No spike heel, I'll say a spiked heel optional. That's up to you. But, this is a part of the show now where I'm going to open it up. This is an open floor. So please, give me some information and feedback and talk to me. I'm looking on here to see, oh my goodness, is anybody talking to me here? Let's see what's going on here. I don't know if any of my stuff is turned on here. Well, I guess it doesn't matter. I've got a lot of information, you know, put here together. There were some things, I was looking on Facebook the other night, some information that was going on. And I came across the Emerald Coast uh, Entertainer of the Year contest. And my daughter, Vanessa and Lauren Mitchell were emceeing at the same time. This was a National Entertainer of the Year prelim. And I would say also they were hosting Chantel Sparkle, who is also the National Entertainer of the Year and doing a good job. And Genesis, I think, ended up winning the title that night. But what stood out to me the most that night was my daughter. She announced along with Lauren that they were having a fundraiser down in Florida to raise money for all the entertainers to get on a bus and go down to Tallahassee and protest. I think that's a good thing. It's time that somebody has some pushback on DeSantos to make his name really DeSantos. And you all also need to call, I'll say, Miss, what is my girl, representing Val Demings. I'm for sure she will jump on her motorcycle and meet you all down there on that day of protest. So that will be a wonderful, wonderful time to see her. Some other news I want to bring up is I've been watching, looking at some of the gun violence that's been going on. And since I have been on last, oh, got to get this. I'm sitting here looking at my teeth. Oh my goodness. I need something to drink. My teeth are getting a little red here. Sorry about that if I had red mouth at first. Since I was on the last time, there have been six major shootings since the last time. And four of them have been fatal. And two of them, thank God, the people or the young lady and the young man is actually are doing much better today. It started in Kansas City with a 16-year-old young man who was walking up and rang the wrong doorbell. There was in Austin, Texas, a 16-year-old for going to the wrong car, but then she apologized, and and the gentleman still shot at her, and there were a group of them, but the young lady is the one who is now fighting for her life. I hope she's doing much better. There was also a fatal shooting in upstate New York of a 20-year-old young lady. And then not too far from me in Hartford, there was a 12-year-old girl who was shot fatally in the head standing on the sidewalk by a drive-by. And then I think it was Saturday night. I don't know if y'all heard about this. There was a young man who got killed at a smoke shop. He was 23 years old, and he was visiting. And this is he got murdered in the smoke shop in New Jersey, but he was visiting from Fayetteville, North Carolina. my hometown. So that was like, oh, it made me feel again some kind of way. And then last night, after I had, uh, I'll say, sat here and I'll say, put down all these notes, there was also another shooting in Oklahoma, a fatal shooting. But I think they caught the shooter or the gunman. I'm not really sure about that. I'll give you some more update about that. Another thing that I ran across when I was going across Facebook, you just run across all this amazing stuff. If you look, I ran across, and I want to say a good um, congratulations to Delane Mulvaney, who got the promotion for Bud Light. I'm for sure that was, something very needed in her life. And I encourage her to use her platform for good, to help others. And I know her journey, she taped her journey, and that's an amazing thing to please follow her. And I mean, not only follow her, there are tons of other amazing people are here that you can follow. I think there is T.S. Madison. People follow. I love her. I started watching this, on I'll say looking at her. I look at Miss Flame Monroe. I look at Miss Laverne Cox. I even have looked at Miss Blair White. I have. I even started at first watching Blair White. And then there are some others that, I have been following. And of course, my sister down in Texas, Miss Chevelle Brooks, our point of view. I have been following her. That's been a wonderful thing. She's given me that gumption looking at her every night and her panel to do this. So hopefully one day I'll get advanced as they are, but I'm like a little baby that's still looking and learning from them. And I think they're an amazing, I'll say, group of people. And I encourage others, if you have something to say, you should, find out how to, get your things and thoughts together and do this. If not, like I said, give me, you can go also to my website and go to my website, which is Vanessa Parrack.com. That's VanessaParrack.com. You can go to Let's Talk and upload your information, any questions or anything you would like to ask me, or if you want to book me for a speaking engagement or an appearance, we can do that. That'll be someone will get back to you as soon as possible. And if I can't, I'm for sure I can find somebody that can help you. Also, I'm going through some other of my notes here. Oh, I want to follow up on this. When I said go to Vanessa, I'll say go to my web page, which is VanessaParrack.com. That's VanessaParrack.com, because someone did follow up on my launch date, which was the National Transgender HIV Testing Day. And they wanted me to elaborate some places that they could go for treatment or help or something like that. And I gave her the information that I had. Thank God she lives here in the state of Connecticut, because Ned Lamont is absolutely wonderful for our community. I applaud him. He even went on the television and made a public announcement. I don't know if you all got it or not, saying that his borders are open. If you do not feel safe where you live, that you could come here for your safety and your treatment. We have tons of different places here in the Connecticut. We're so blessed for the education we have for the community here. And to follow up on some of that, you can go to Circle Care in Louisville. I mean, in Norwalk, Connecticut. They also have a pharmacy there, and they have a wonderful staff in their doctor's office that I think you need to, if you need some help, or if you're around in that area of Norwalk or somewhere around there. Also, they have TCC for the younger generation, also here in the state of Connecticut. They offer opportunities for the younger generation from 16 on up and even younger. Like our governor said, this is a safe place to live. We also have TCC in Norwalk. We have TCC in Bridgeport, I think. And I just recently started working with Luis down at the Southwest Community Health Center in Bridgeport. So if you are in the end, then they have Fairhaven Community Center. And I think they meet they have a transgender group and different groups every Wednesday. I'm not really sure, but you can contact, like I said, if you're in this area of Connecticut, Fairhaven Community Center. And then there is Southwest Community Health Center in Bridgeport. And I know you can contact Lewis there. He will help you. And then there is TCC in Norwalk, TCC in Bridgeport, the Circle Care in Norwalk, Connecticut, and the doctor's office. And you can go there for testing and help. So that'll help you right along. I'm not really sure what's going on here. I'm trying to figure out why I can't see anybody answer me back for some strange reason. But I'm gonna look here. Oh, there we go. There you go. There we go. Oh my goodness, I see my dad out there, Mr. Ted Parrack. It's so wonderful to see you. Oh my goodness. And then of course everybody's talking about, oh, I see Miss Vanessa Mornay. Like I said, I talked about her earlier. Whenever she was down at the Emerald Coast pageant. And I need to go back to make sure that I say this again. I don't know if I said it quite correct, but I'm going to say it again. This was information from Forbes magazine. And I want to make sure I said that and highlight that right again. In 2020, Forbes magazine reported there are 20 million guns out there, plus 2 million more the last year. I guess I have to update just in case I did not say that correct. That's from Forbes magazine. And of course, everybody's talking about Tucker Carlson. And I'm for sure his firing had nothing to do with us at all. It had more to do with that $780 million settlement that I think was going on. So nothing to do with us at all. And going back, after I can see now all the different, you all are talking to me. Well, hello, Sister Wanda, down from Fayetteville, North Carolina. I love her to death. It's so wonderful to see you, Wanda. Lord have mercy. I hope the weather's beautiful down there. Now I'm going to go up here and we got to see. Oh, my goodness. We've got my other sister on here. Oh my goodness, May. How are you doing, May? And God, going back to my book, my sister May practically raised me as a child when my mother was out. She used to work at this manufacturing company way long time ago. I'm not even going to date myself again. But my sister May she was like second mom to me. So it's so wonderful to see her on here. And my sister Wanda. You will be able to read a lot about them in my book. They were a major part in my life. And then, everybody always says we all look completely alike. So hopefully one day I'm going to bring them on and we're going to all be together on here. And you'll read somewhat I'll say about them in my book. And I think you'll enjoy that. And again, I want to go back to Mr. Ted Parrack. Going back to them, I have to give a big shout out to Now Applied Imagination. They're a branding and marketing company. Marketing agency. They have supported me, helped mold me, and put all of this together. Lee has been absolutely wonderful there for me. Also, Desmond being a mentor, helping me through that, who is also a bestseller. So please look up Desmond Hall. And Jericho Habib has been wonderful. Also, another one who has kept me sane for the last many years, I'll say, is my therapist, Alejandro Hochstetter. I'm hoping I'm saying that right. Alejandro Hochstetter. She has been wonderful to me. You know, she's helped me through a lot. She's helped see me through a lot. And it has been a blessing. Now I'm going to go back to what I was talking about when it came to Bud Light. I want to go back to Delane Mulvaney. Mulvaney. If I'm saying that wrong, please someone let me know. But I want to congratulate her for that, and hopefully she's going to use her platform for good. But they've been having all this hate, uh, I'll say propaganda, and all these videos up against Bud Light. So we know now that this is not about, the children. This is about our community, completely trying to wipe it out completely. That water is now tainted since they are planning to have one representative, to sit there and do a shout out during, I'll say, a March Madness about the beer. And I ran across some video of someone putting up, I'll say, that stacking these cases, like they went out and bought all these cases of Bud Light. And I'm for sure Bud Light like that anyway. But they put a big target on it. And then the man stood on the other side and someone taped him shooting, of course, an AR-15 assault rifle. And that made me feel some kind of way. I guess we all have to take a look at that there are some dangerous things out there. And again, I'm not sitting here saying that I am all against guns, but these assault rifles, especially this AR-15 assault rifle. This is just, and people are dying every day for no reason, for senseless reason. And some of this is from, I'll say, these inconsistent, or we would not putting up their gun correct, or these irresponsible gun owners. We all have to take some responsibility in this all. Now I'm going to sit here and see what some of is going on here, what we're talking about. This is quite nice. But one thing I would point out, we're going to have to continuously talk about all this gun violence. And, and then when you sit here, whenever, and I'm not going to even go on about Tucker Carlson because everybody else has. And, someone mentioned to me earlier, well, how do you feel about Tucker Carlson getting fired? I'm like, well, it really had nothing to do with us. Again, I'm going to say it was all that money. But there's hopefully what I feel about that is at least we have some sanctity now at 8 o'clock on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, that nobody is just sitting there spewing hate for no reason, and then a lot of it making up lies. And like I said, I don't want anybody that's gonna nobody should run away from their dreams. No one. You should always run towards your dreams and never, never, run away from your fears, especially because that's how you're going to get to your dreams. Fears will build a champion, honey, if you look through all of that. We have to come together. We have to go out and vote again, put the right people in, because in 2 years, it's all going to come back around again. And instead of us sitting here complaining about, I cannot believe this is happening to us, let's do something about that. If you haven't registered to vote, vote. Put someone in the office that's going to vote our interests and our interests as human beings, not just as trans women, but as human beings. We need to start looking at ourselves as part of the community, not separate ourselves. Maybe we need to come together and get that voting block together. Where if they're going to say something about us, then we'll let them know, okay, this is our pushback. Like I love the pushback they're doing in Florida. And I encourage those young ladies to go out and get in high whore drag that day, honey, so the cameras will come to them and then have something to say that people need to listen to. That's food for thought for them and the community. I just want to sit here and say, I thank everyone for tuning in. And again, I want to say thank you to Now Applied Imagination Branding and Marketing Agency. You have been wonderful. I just thank you for the push you're giving me. Again, I thank Jericho. I thank my therapist, Alejandro Hochstatter. I thank my mentor, Desmond, and especially Lee for just hanging in there and creating all of this. And especially, I got to go back to Jericho for helping me through this adventure of a computer. I will say stay positive as you can. And it costs nothing to say, hello, how are you doing? You look beautiful today. Because you don't know what people are going through. And just that little bit of love will go so far. I hope you've enjoyed my show. Remember, this is Hell to Higher Ground. Please follow me on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram and LinkedIn. And please subscribe if you haven't already. Then share and then put likes. Thank you so much. We're going to continue this conversation next week. What's more dangerous, a high heel a high heel shoe, or an assault rifle? And we're going to talk a little bit more about some of the activism going on. And I want to thank everybody again for joining in and tuning in. I hope you will continuously stay there with me. And all this, going back to what Tucker Carlson said, uh, I don't believe any of that. And thank God any of that hate that he spewed is now, people still hear it. But we can do something about that. And that's by standing up. And people will recognize what's not happening and what is. We are not a dangerous community. Female impersonation is not more dangerous than the man in the moon, sometimes other than towards the female impersonator. I want to thank you so much. Again, join me for next week. I hope you've enjoyed the show. Thank you. See you next week from Hell to Higher Ground. And we will continue the conversation next week. Thank you. Signing off.